All right, so today we're at Big Ideas Math 2.6, page 97, 2 through 7, and then 11 through 19, and it's dividing fractions, or I'm sorry, dividing decimals. So dividing decimals is just like dividing regular numbers. There's just a couple extra things you need to think about as you do it. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at number 2 here, and then we'll kind of work our way a little bit so that you can kind of see what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So remember, you have the divisor and the dividend. So let me make sure, I can never remember. You have the divisor and the dividend. Please, dividend. Okay, so the one underneath the radical, which is this symbol right here, is called the dividend, and this is the divisor. So the divisor is on the outside, the dividend is underneath. So the this number 2 says 18.6 divided by 4. And remember, when it's written on the paper as 18.6 divided by 4, when you write it in the radical format, the easier way to solve, you have to transpose it, or you have to do it backwards. So it's 18.6 divided by 4. So you say this number under the radical first, divided by the divisor on the outside. Now, when you set up a division problem like this, and the dividend has a decimal, the only thing that you have to do differently is you have to make sure that your decimal point in the answer is directly above this one. Okay? And you need to pay attention to where you're putting things. And hopefully your math teacher last year taught you how careful it was to put the answers in the correct spot. So 4 does not go into 1, so it can't go here. So nothing is going above the 1. 4 can go into 18, and it can go 4 times. So it goes above the 8 in the 18, and it must go directly above, or it's not. It could be wrong, or your decimal could be all messed up. And so it's very important where you put the number. So 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract. 18 minus 16 is 2. Bring down the 6. 26. 4 goes into 26. Let's see, 7 times. That would be 28. 6 would be 24. Let's see. No, 4 times 27. 4 times 5 would be 20. 4 times 6 would be 24. So 6 would be 24. And I have 2 left over. So that means I have to put a 0 here and drop it down, which is 20. 4 goes into 25 times. And 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. We're done. So the correct answer here is 4.65. If there was no decimal, it would be 1,860 divided by 4, and that would be 465. But since there's a decimal and we lined it up correctly, that's how I know where to put the decimal. You work it out exactly as you would a normal division problem. You just have to remember to be organized and put the decimal straight above. So let's do number 3 really quick. We'll do one more here, just to kind of talk you through one more try. So it's 6.38 divided by 11. So that's 6.38 under the radical divided by 11. Okay, here's my decimal. I'm going to put it straight up here. 11 will not go into 6. So that's 0. Or nothing. You don't have to put a 0 if you don't want to. Will 11 go into 63? Yes, it will. It will go 5 times. 6 would be 66, and that's more than 63, so it's 5 times, and that would be 55. Okay, this becomes a 5, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. 5 minus 5 is nothing, so 8 left over. We'll bring down this 8. 11 goes into 88 8 times. 8 times 11 is 88, and that's 0. So 6.38 divided by 11 is 0.58. Okay? So, and that seems about right, because 11, half of 11 would be like 5 and, well, if you make this 12, it would be 6, so it would be 5 and something. So that's about 50%. This is about 50%, which is 0.58 is slightly over 50%. All right, so you're going to do 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 12. Let's go down here to 12 because you need to see something. Actually, 12 is not a good. Well, so 12 is fine. It's the same thing. Use parentheses. There's another rule that you need to be aware of, but apparently they're not teaching it in this lesson. And the other one is, well, let me show you. I guess the number 5 is a good one to show you because 5 does show it. The other rule is this. If I have 13.6 divided by 4.7, the first thing I want to try to do is get rid of decimals as much as I can. And to do that, what I would do is because these are both decimal numbers, when it's not a decimal number, you don't have to worry about this. But when it is a decimal number, what you can do is you can play with your decimal places. So if I take this number and I push the decimal over one place, it's now 47. Okay? But I can't do that alone. If I do it here, I have to do it under here. So I moved the decimal place 1 to the right. So then what I have to do here is I have to move the decimal place 1 to the right. Now, that seems like a really weird thing to do, but you can actually do it because you're making both of them 10 times bigger. And so your answer will be the same. You're using the same numbers, you're just making it 10 times bigger. So 47 will go into 136 2 times. 50 and 50 is 100. 50, 50, 50 is 150. So this is going to be 2 times. I'm not exactly sure what 47 times 2 is, so I'll do this really quick. Let's just go up here, calculator. All right, say 47 times 2 is 94. 136 minus 94. As long as it's smaller than 47, we're okay. Yeah, it's 42. All right, so let's put a 0 down here. We needed another digit here because 47 won't go into 42. So we need another. So 420 divided by 47 is 8 times. 47 times 8 is 376. 420 minus 376 is 44. Still not big enough. Let's see. 44 divided by 47. Okay, so we're going to have to go, it looks like 8 more times, which would be, I had to add another 0 here, which would be 376 again. 440 minus 376, 64. Oh, that's too many. So it had to have been 9. I made a mistake. I apologize. 47 times 9. Let's see. 47 times 9 is 423. 440 minus 423 is 17. And it'll just keep going. I can keep adding zeros until I figure something out. So let's see. 170 divided by 47 is 3. 47 times 3 is 141. 6, 10, 9, 29. Put another 0. And it's just going to keep going. 2 is probably fine. But yeah, so that's what you'll do. Let me show you this way. If I did the original problem, 13.6 divided by 4.7, I'm going to get 3.893, whatever. And it's going to keep going. See, 2.8936. If I show you the problem after I move the decimal points over, I go 136 divided by 47. And I'm going to get the same answer, 2.89, because I moved both of them over 1. The same thing, if I moved it to the left, it would be 1.36 divided by 0.47, and I'll get the exact same answer. I just move the decimal one way this way. So no matter where you move it, you get the same answer. The reason why we put it to the right is because it's easier to divide whole numbers than it is to divide decimal numbers. So we try to get the divisor to be no decimals by moving it over one. And if there's a decimal here that I can move over one, then I'll do that, and it'll make it easier for me to solve the problem. All right, so you're going to do 2 through 7 and 12 through 19. All right, ready, set, go.